you tried choking it?
I even tried kicking it to death.
Suppose you've got your gas line open in your air vent.
I suppose so. If it doesn't start soon, I'm going to trailer it in on a goat. Mind if I ask what you're doing over there?
Yeah, I just finished the survey. Your neighbor's putting in a pool.
Oh, that's good news. Now I won't have to electrify the fence.
I'm afraid it's bad news for you.
But what are you talking about?
Well, according to my calculations, this fence of yours is almost a foot onto Mr. Perkins' property.
Impossible. I watch my fence night and day. It hasn't moved an inch. You better check that again.
I already double-checked it. It still comes out the same way. The fence is almost a foot inside Perkins' property line. You know, if I were you, I'd forget about starting that lawnmower and start looking for a good lawyer. Oh, have a nice day.
Thanks. Oh, my goodness. Hurry up with those goodies, Martha. The Perkins will be here any minute.
I don't know what all the rush is. That fence has been there for 15 years.
Martha, a thing like this is a lot easier to handle if you act fast and keep it just between the principals.
I get it. Get to them before they get to a lawyer.
Martha, you make the truth seem like a blunt instrument.
Now, are you sure they're right about that fence?
I told you my own surveyor said we're about a foot over. And that was after I bribed him.
Well, how are you going to get the Perkins to give up that foot of land?
Just have to rely on my charm.
Then we are in trouble.
Watch it, Martha. Mistresses are very in this year.
Good. I've often thought of moonlighting.
I can't remember what Captain Cliche drinks. Is it scotch or bourbon?
It seems to me I remember a bourbon in the hand is worth two in the bar.
How can I ever forget a clever line like that? I remember another one of his gems. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was Sophia Loren.
So nice of you to drop in.
Yes, we've been wondering why you've made such strangers of yourselves lately.
Actually, we've been waiting for you to return our last visit.
You mean New Year's Eve 68?
It was 67, but who's counting?
Please make yourself comfortable, Joan, Sam. Paul, how about a drink?
I'll have a double. I see. I'm not too good with faces, but I never forget a drink. Bourbon, right?
We don't drink anymore.
No kidding. I tried that once, found the real me, and it was shattering.
I always say, lips that touch wine shall never touch mine.
Well, in that case, I guess we can't play post office.
I'd rather play Pony Express.
Pony Express? What's that?
It's like post office, but there's more horsing around.
How's the hardware business?
Oh, Sam sold the store 3 years ago. We own a self-service laundry now.
That way, if business is lousy, I can always take myself to the cleaners. Look, this is very pleasant, but as one cop said to the other, let's stop bushing around the beat. When you called, we were just about to invite you over to our house.
You were? Why?
You mean you really don't know?
No, what?
That your fence is on our property.
No! Really? Well, that is startling news.
That's right. It's a foot over our line.
Not quite a foot. I did hear a rumor to that effect, and Sam, I'm sure we can work out some simple arrangement. After all, a measly foot of property shouldn't get in the way of two old friends and neighbors. Sure you won't try the guacamole dip?
No thanks. A dip a day leaves a ring in the bathtub.
That's not bad.
How about this? Early to bed and early to rise, and you don't have as much fun as the other guys.
That's bad.
Come on, Joan. Let's let them talk, and you and I put on a pot of coffee, huh?
Now, About that foot of land. Why don't I just, buy it from you, Sam?
Why not? How much did you have in mind?
Well, I'm thinking in the terms of $1. It's big enough to make it legal and not too big to destroy our friendship.
As far as I'm concerned, you got a deal, Paul. I mean, $1 in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Fine.
The trouble is, according to my mortgage, I can't sell off any part of my property without renegotiating my entire loan.
Just a mere formality. As an attorney, I'll take care of all those petty little details.
Thanks. My bank has already figured out what those petty little details come to.
Fine. How much is it?
Oh, let's see. Penalty for closing out loan, higher interest on new loan, termite inspection, filing fees, total $2,753.85.
$2,700 for a lousy few inches of crabgrass?
Well, but I guess that just goes to show that one man's mortgage is another man's poison.
Pardon me for not choking with laughter. Well, what do you think?
I think it's Sunday morning, and I ought to be home watching old Robert.
I appreciate the sacrifice, Mr. Frisbee, but now about the estimate. How much would it cost me to move the fence 1 foot this way? And I hope you remember your Bible and charge unto others as you have them charge unto you.
But keep in mind, the gospel don't cover nothing about inflation. Now, I calculated at
$50. It's a deal, and Perkins can keep these crummy 11 3/4 inches of land.
Of course, that's strictly for the moving. I got to drill new post holes in the concrete, and that'll be,
Another 50. What's the matter? You afraid to say stick 'em up?
Of course, them new post holes won't be much good without, new posts.
Another 50. Don't you do anything that doesn't cost $50?
Pulling up the old posts out of the old concrete. Now, that'll run you.
75? Look, before my blood pressure gets higher in my bank account, why don't you give me a package price? You know, taxes, license, and white walls, FOB backyard.
Figured you'd be asking.
$329.57.
Of course, at that price, I can't guarantee you beyond the first windstorm.
Look, Ace, the next time my fingers start walking through the yellow pages, I'll start in the Z's.
Okay. How's about my figuring on a brand new fence that a man can afford?
You got enough paper?
Hi, Dad. Want to join us for a dip?
Nothing like it to really wake you up in the morning.
Who needs it? I had my eye-opener when I heard his bid.
Oh, you decided to have the fence moved?
If I don't have to borrow my life insurance to pay for it.
Well, you don't have much choice unless you jack up the fence and move the land.
Don't you ever get tired of hanging around yourself?
Here you go. I can give you a brand new redwood fence for only
$640. The Great Wall of China didn't cost that much.
But this has a lifetime guarantee.
How much off if I don't live that long?
Daddy, $640 is a lot cheaper than paying Mr. Perkins over $2,000 for his foot of land.
You always were a whiz at math. Okay, it's a deal.
I think you're going to have a problem, Dad.
Holly, with you and the family, no additional problem's a problem.
Well, what I mean is, if you move the fence, it'll bring it to within 7 feet of the pool. So the city won't like it. Ordinance 114B, Section 5 states that you have to have an 8-foot setback. In other words, if you move the fence, you'll have to get rid of the pool.
If I could quote you a right cheap price, I'm filling her in.
I don't want to even hear this. That pool cost me $5,000. There's got to be another way.
There is. All you have to do is move it.
You can do that?
Oh, easy. You see, you dig another hole a foot that side and just shove her over.
Say when, Howie. Howie, the word was when.
I know. She's halfway there.
I'll go pack your lunch.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, darling.
Morning, Dad.
And what a beautiful, glorious, breathtaking Monday morning. Howie, my boy, you sure you have enough butter and syrup? Martha, cook up another stack of pancakes. We got a growing boy to feed.
Well, I don't know what you're on, but how about passing it around?
Oh, Howie, snack pack. About 4 a.m. this morning, I thought of a brilliant solution to this whole problem.
We're going to move.
No, that's the coward's way out. No, the answer is Ralph Rankin.
Who's he?
Just the head of the city zoning commission, who just happens to be a very dear old friend.
As very dear and old as the Perkins next door?
Well, you're beginning to sound like me, and on you it's not becoming. Now, I'm going to request a variance on the setback requirement so I can move the old fence and leave our pool just where it is.
Hey, that's a great idea, Dad. Only how do you know he'll give you the variance?
How do I know? Let me count the way. I got his wife off the hook when she was hauled up on a grass charge.
Did she smoke it or push it?
I took care of a fine that she got for a ticket for driving across the City Hall lawn.
She was just learning how to drive then.
Her right turn indicator got stuck, and she thought it was illegal to disobey it.
You mean you're going to hold that over his head? Daddy, isn't that a little unprincipled?
Barbara, in this case, it's not the principle. It's
The money.
Martha?
Hi, sweetheart. Did you talk to Ralph?
I did, and it's in the bag. He'll be here at 6 sharp. And he was absolutely delighted when I asked him to drop by for a drink.
So I gathered when your secretary called and told me to rush out and buy hors d'oeuvres. But, Paul, darling, every problem in life cannot be solved with caviar.
I never realized a variance could smell so good. And I knew you'd be able to keep it in the food budget for the month.
That is the food budget for the month.
Hello. Yeah, yes, this is Mr. Sims. Oh, it's Ralph's secretary. What's that? Oh, really? Well, could you ask Mr. Rankin if... Oh, he left already. Well, what about my, well, who's he sending? I see. Thank you. Ungrateful think.
Maybe I can return the caviar. What happened?
Ralph had to fly to Sacramento on city business, but he's sending over his assistant, a fella named Myron Campbell.
Myron Campbell. Gee, that name is awfully familiar. Does he have a wife named Mildred?
No, Millicent. I think I did some work for her a couple of years ago.
That's right. You handled her divorce.
Yeah, it's beginning to come back to me now.
Do you remember what you said when you came home that night?
Sure do. I said, Martha, between the property settlement and the alimony, I took that poor jerk for everything. I'm calling him cancel. Hey, it's him, Martha. The window. Duck.
Fun and games.
Don't breathe, Martha. Maybe you'll go away.
If I don't breathe, I'll go away.
Listen.
I don't hear anything.
That's what I mean. They're gone. I knew all we had to do was sit tight.
See, Mr. Campbell? I told you somebody had to be home. This is my mother-in-law, Mrs. Sims.
How do you do?
And that's...
I know, that's your father-in-law, the Owen Marshall of Ocean Grove. Did I get you in the middle of a prayer, Mr. Sims?
Yes, and I didn't get what I prayed for.
He was just about to go away when I came along.
How you'd make a great doorstop.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mrs. Sims, but my bus got hung up in traffic.
Your bus?
Oh, didn't Mr. Sims tell you? My wife got the car in the divorce settlement.
Well, we did leave you your 10-speed bicycle.
Not for long. Had to sell it to buy bus tokens.
Smart move. Buses are safer. Much safer.
I'll cherish that thought tonight when I go back to my room at the Y, get into my cot, and watch radio.
What could I do, Martha? She insisted on the TV set.
Can I get you a drink, Mr. Campbell?
No thanks. I've given up drinking. And quite a bit of eating.
He's got quite a marvelous sense of humor. I kept telling his wife that she was a fool to divorce him.
How about some hors d'oeuvres, then?
Caviar.
Yes.
Before the divorce, I could afford that. A big spread with me now is stuffed celery. Blue cheese if I'm flush. Otherwise, peanut butter.
What'd I tell you, Martha? Wit like a rapier. What's this?
My report on your request for a variance.
How can you turn me down? You haven't even looked at my pool.
I looked at it before I rang the bell. It isn't much different from the one I used to have before my lawyer met you. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Sims.
Goodbye, Mr. Campbell.
I don't suppose it'd make any difference if I offered to drive you to the bus. How about under the bus?
Darling, how about some breakfast?
No, thanks. I didn't sleep all night, and I'm too tired to chew. Well, I guess there's no alternative. I'll have to buy that foot of land from that bandit next door.
Relax, Paul. Where there's a Sam, there's a way.
How did you get in here?
The back door was open.
You know how it is. Fools walk in where Angelinos fear to tread. I'll admit that one worked better when we lived in L.A.
I'm glad you barged in because I have good news for you. Martha and I have been talking it over, and I've decided to buy that foot of land.
Well, it's a woman's prerogative to change a man's mind.
Right.
And Jones changed mine. We decided not to sell.
Decided not to. Oh, that is funny, isn't it, Martha? Laugh.
He's not joking.
He must be. Look, suppose I add another $100 to the price, and I'll throw in swimming pool privileges.
Paul, let me explain. The way I see it, you're in a jam, and I'd like to help you out.
What did you have in mind?
Well, if I don't sell you that foot of land, you're going to have to fill in your pool when you move the fence.
Not if I get a variance.
But you're not getting it.
How do you know? We have a friend in the zoning commissioner's office.
Oh, Ralph Rankin?
No, Myron Campbell.
Myron Campbell. How long have you known him?
Since yesterday, when he dropped in to explain your problem.
That's what gave us the idea. Campbell said we could bail you out and still pick up the house at a reasonable price.
Pick up our house.
That's right. Instead of selling you 1 foot of our land, I'm ready to make you an offer to buy your whole place, lock, stock, and barrel house.
Sell our house? Martha, we gotta find Campbell another wife. The next time I handle his divorce, I won't even leave him a skateboard.
The whole idea is preposterous. And besides, what would you do with 2 houses? That's the point. We just got word that my brother is moving out here. Now, we could tear down the fence and make one big family compound.
Oh, you mean like a big kennel?
I just have one thing to say. Forget it.
You know what they say when the irresistible force meets the immovable object? Suppose I make you an offer you can't refuse.
We just lost Brando the Oscar. What's that, the mob?
No, just opportunity ringing.
They act like they live here already.
Oh, we didn't think it'd mind if we invited an appraiser over to look at the place. What for? We'll never sell this house.
That's what everybody says at first. George, take a quick look around just in case they change their minds.
We'd better start with the master bedroom.
Now, wait a minute.
If I know my sister-in-law, she'll be spending the whole day in bed.
It won't do you any good. We wouldn't sell in 100 years.
First is never, now it's only 100 years. You see, already you're wavering.
Hi there, Mr. Sims. I'm Barton, the real estate broker. I understand by the grapevine that you're selling your house.
Your grapevine has root rot.
Now, Mr. Sims, if George Frazier's car's outside, you must be getting this house appraised. And that means you want to sell it. Which way's the kitchen?
It's out on the porch.
Well, now, what have we got here? 3 and a maids?
What business is that of yours?
Mrs. Sims, how do you expect me to find a buyer until I've seen the kitchen? Got to check out the cabinet work, the built-ins?
I'll build you into the wall. Don't take your eyes off.
Good morning, Mr. Sims. I'm Johnson, 18H Realty. I guarantee I'll beat any deal Barton brings you.
I don't want you to beat anything. Look, how many times do I have to tell you people I won't sell?
Oh, one of them, eh?
What, one of what?
Don't you blink your baby blues at me. We got laws to protect minority groups against people like you. My card.
I don't want your card.
All right, then give me yours.
What for?
We always like to know who we're suing.
As a lawyer, I know my rights, among which are life, liberty, and the throwing out of real estate agents from my house, regardless of race, creed, or color.
Don't start anything, Paul. A word to the wise. Look before you weep.
Barton, how you doing?
Oh, you just
All of you. This property is not for sale, so kindly get off it.
NAACP will hear about this.
You probably flunked your termite test.
You'll hear from me, Sam.
What was that?
It's Housebreakers Incorporated. Howie, get your shovel. We're filling in the pool.
That's a ridiculous idea.
Not if you're under the first shovelful.
Great news. You don't have to fill in the pool.
I don't have to fill in the pool?
Howie was going over the town records at the library. Did you know we had an earthquake on July 17th, 1884?
No, I must have slept right through it.
Howie read the original report in Spanish.
Barbara, please, this is no time to be giving your father a history lesson.
Mom, you don't understand. This entire area used to be part of a Spanish land grant. When they laid out the town, they used the tip of Lookout Point as a reference.
But during the earthquake, part of Lookout Point fell into the sea.
According to the erosion ratio, every east-west property line laid out after the earthquake is off about a foot.
Is that good for our side?
Sure. It means you already own the foot of property you were going to buy from him.
Then our property must run a foot over onto our neighbors on the other side.
Joan, who asked you?
Don't worry, it works that way all the way to City Hall. Everybody's property is about a foot off.
Everybody's property is now, you're sure? No chance of a mistake.
I double-checked the mission records. It's all there in Spanish.
Your Spanish is that good?
No, but it's also in Latin. That's my second language.
Well, Sam, as they say in Latin, veni vidi vici.
What does that mean?
I came, I saw, and bonjour. That's my third language.
I used to buy a pickle. It only used to cost a nickel.